Most high performers assume a plateau is a skill issue, when usually it isn't. It's a structural one. And the structure I'm talking about isn't a strategy, it's identity. Because when your identity is tied to a proof-based identity, which most high performers are, you're going to run into 3 different problems, which are going to cause this plateau. So first off, what does this proof-based identity mean? It means that your identity, your worth, who you think you are, is tied to the outcomes that you bring in life. And so your revenue, the size of your company, how much you're benching, how fast your 5K is, all of these measurable outcomes are what defines you. And so you're constantly needing to prove yourself to show who you are. Now this identity, it works. Like a lot of the high performers that you look around and see, they have this identity. And it's because it has metrics, and so it's easy to measure the outcomes. It has a lot of emotional charge, and so you really want to make sure that you get it done. And it creates urgency, because you need to constantly keep proving yourself again and again and again. And so a lot of people adopt this. They show people what they want to achieve. They show themselves the things that they're capable of achieving, and they're able to go on and build businesses that are doing 10, 50, 100K a month. However, over time, this destabilizes, and a new identity is needed to break past this plateau because of these 3 problems. The first one being hedonic adaptation. Now, over the human evolution, we have hedonic adaptation, which basically means that we get used to anything that's going on right now. And so someone who grew up poor and then became rich is eventually going to get used to what that rich is. Say they're going on holiday 3 times a year and they've got a nice car and a nice house. Eventually they get used to that, and now they want the mansion, or they want to be going away 6 times a year. You're always going to get used to the surroundings that you have, and you're going to want more. It's the reason that society was able to be built, from living in caves to going through and having these massive skyscrapers, right? So it served us evolutionary. However, it is also something which is so wired into us that means that when we are having a proof-based identity and we want to grow our revenue, we are always used to what our revenue is, and now we need to push past that point in order to prove ourselves again. So what this means is when you are scaling your business and you finally hit 50K a month, you now feel the pressure of needing to go to 100K because you're used to the 50, and now the targets get higher, the standards get bigger, and the pressure also increases. The second reason is identity volatility. So when you experience a dip, you're not just seeing less numbers on the screen, you're seeing yourself as being a worse person. And so this isn't a lower number and you know that you've got a strategy that works, and so you're able to commit to it and you can just keep growing, and you know that there's external forces that means that there's always ups and downs in business. No. It becomes something which is an attack on your character, and so you start to think, do you need a new strategy? Do you need to hire a coach? Do you need some new skills, a new tactic? Is there some advice that you need to get from some other people? Do you need to change things drastically? Do you need to keep them the same? And this second guessing is just causing mental fatigue. That's energy spent that could have been spent on actually growing your business. And you think you're being productive because you think you've seen a problem because it's an attack on your character, rather than being able to accept that business has ups and downs, and all you need to do is stick to the strategy which has been proven to work. And number 3 sort of ties these first 2 points together practically, and your decision weight gets heavier. With the extra pressure from the hedonic adaptation, you know that each decision costs more. And then with the risk of the identity volatility, again, the pressure increases. And so each decision that you make, the higher you get, the more pressure that comes with that. And so you do start to second guess yourself. You do start to wonder if you need extra help or a better skill and tactic, even when things are going right. And all of this second guessing and all of this time and energy spent on focusing on other things is not focusing on you building the business. And that's where this plateau comes in, because you're so worried about not failing that you're not able to put all of your effort into growing. Essentially, the identity that helped you get to this point is not the identity that's going to help you push past that point, because it requires self-validation. And within having self-validation from your business, it just comes with so much pressure. And the solution is to move towards a principle-based identity, something where you pride yourself on the inputs that you have, the traits that you display, the characteristics that you have built, because these stay stable. They don't fluctuate. They don't adapt hedonically. They don't have volatility, and the decision is the same thing every single time. And if you're able to attach your identity to being the person that does certain things, as opposed to the person that has certain things, then you are able to break past that plateau, and your growth becomes a lot more stable because your identity becomes a lot more stable. And that is how you avoid a plateau.